திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஆடும் பரிவேல் அணி சேவல் என பாடும் பணியே பணியாய் அருள்வாய் தேடும் கயமா முகனை செருவில் சாடும் தனி யானை சகோதரனே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். பூடியர்கோன் உப்பொழித்த போலியர்கோன் கடல் போற்றி ஆடிமிசை கல்மிதப்பில் அணிந்த பிரான் அடி போற்றி வாடி திருநாவலூர் வன்தொண்டர் பதம் போற்றி ஊழிமறி திருவாத ஊரர் திருத்தாள் போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். உலகலாம் உணர்ந்து ஓதற்கரியவன் நிலவுலாவிய நீர்மலி வேணியன் அலையில் சோதியன் அம்பலத்தாடுவான் மலர் சிலம்படி வாழ்த்தி வணங்குவான். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி என் நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி ஏகம்பத்துரையந்தாய் போற்றி பாகம் பெண்ணூர் ஆனாய் போற்றி பராய்த்துறை மேவிய பரணே போற்றி சிராப்பள்ளி மேவிய சிவனே போற்றி அண்ணாமலையமன்னா போற்றி கண்ணார் அமுத கடலே போற்றி காவாய் கனகத்திரளே போற்றி கைலை மலையானே போற்றி போற்றி வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். அண்ட சராசரங்களுக்கெல்லாம் அதிபதியாக விளங்கக்கூடிய முருகப்பெருமானுடைய ஒப்பற்ற பெருங்கருணையினாலே ஞானத்திரள் சார்பாக நாம் பெரிய புராணத்தை ஆங்கிலத்திலே நாயன்மார்களுடைய வரலாற்றை தொடர்ந்து சிந்திக்கின்ற அந்த பாங்கிலே இன்றைய தினம் ஆனாய நாயனார் பற்றி நாம் சிந்திப்பதற்கு திருவருள் கூட்டியிருக்கிறது. In the last episode we discussed about the great history of Ayya Nayanar. In this episode, Aanaya Nayanar, we are going to some or other understand how his bhakti towards Lord Shiva stands up. As a matter of fact, I am here to tell you that it is very difficult to understand the bhakti of Aanaya Nayanar. Very, very difficult. It is because it will look so simple. It will look so simple that we may wonder how Aanaya Nayanar or Aanayar, how he has become a Nayanar in the list. We will not be able to understand, will not be able to realize the true volume or the true nature of his bhakti towards Lord Shiva. See, Sundarar has included him in the list, means it is by God's wish. Alai malinda punal mangai aanayar kadiyen. That's how the line runs. If Sundarar is including him in the list, his love is exemplary, it is unequal, and his love cannot be compared to anybody's love. Likewise, we can give up so many explanations. But if we go through the history, if we go through his life history, it is so simple and plain. It is so simple and plain. It is not at all complicated. It doesn't involve any non-understandable things. Nothing like that. River running very smoothly. Likewise, his life was running very smoothly. No hurdles, no nothing. But still, there was something that made him the great. That made him the great. See, people, how they become great. How they become great? By their talents, by their virtues, by their worldly yearning things, name, fame, how one becomes the great, how one becomes a great. It may be fit enough to discuss all these aspects as far as these worldly things are concerned. But once you come to our cyber side, how can we say one person to be great, or one person to be uncomparable, or one person to be unique? How can we name him as an Ayya? How can we signify him as an Nayanar? That we have to look into the most important factor. See, if we go through the life histories of all the Nayanmars, we can find one thing uniformly followed in all the episodes, in all the histories of Nayanmars. One important thing we can find that is running through the entire history records. Shall we call it as bhakti? Shall we call it as love? Shall we call it as anything else? Great deed? No. We can call it. We can call it by all these things. But the most important thing is one to surrender 100% to the Lord Shiva, his everything. Whatever he owns, let it be his body, let it be his thoughts, let it be anything, wealth, or anything. If the soul thinks that nothing is owned by me, everything is owned by Lord Shiva, and sacrificing and dedicating and surrendering 100%. That we can't do. That we can't do. Those who were able to do were called Nayanmars. Nayanmar means we must understand that they have nothing else except Lord Shiva. They may be living as other people, they may be living the worldly life superficially. When we look superficially, we may compare their lives to the lives of anybody else, but it is not so. They would have surrendered, they would have given up everything to the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. They will not think anything is owned by them, anything is belonging to them. That is a very, very difficult thing, very, very difficult thing. One must be having means it's very difficult thing. See, one must think that whatever things they have, if they think that they all belong to Lord Shiva, that is one thing. Another thing, very important thing is, if one possesses any talent, that talent should also be surrendered to Lord Shiva. This next step, it is very difficult. One may sing very nicely, one may write very nicely, or one may paint very nicely, or one may sculptures, one may be very expert. All these things, arts, talents. It is very difficult to surrender the talent, and you must make it a point that my talent is surrendered to the Lord Shiva, only for him. I have to tell you an example. Because I know it's a very good example and it is to be quoted here. It should be quoted here. Our beloved singer, Tirumurai singer, Dharmapuram Swaminathan. He was having a lot of talent in music. He was reciting the Tirumurais in the best manner, in the prescribed puns, prescribed tunes, let us call tune or pun, the prescribed pun. Without even a small error, he was able to submit. But whenever he submits, he will be having the complete idea of surrendering the music only to Lord Shiva. Other than Tirumurais, he will never sing or he will never sing any song that is not pertaining to Lord Shiva. Anything that pertains to the fame of Lord Shiva, he will sing, and that too, he thought, he lived that his talent was gifted by Lord Shiva and it should be submitted only to him. He lived like that. We have witnessed it. Every time when he sings, he thinks that it is submitted to Lord Shiva. Whenever he offered a concert or whenever he was performing a Tirumurai recital, a Tirumurai performance, Tirumurai musical performance, he would be submitting to Lord Shiva. Throughout his life, he dedicated all his talents only to Lord Shiva. It's very difficult. I may be a good singer, but whenever I sing, I think the talent is owned by me. I am a good singer. I am singing very nicely. That thought will be there. Of course, I will be singing for Lord Shiva also. But people, very rare to find such people. Very rare to find such people. The people will submit their talent 100% to Lord Shiva. See how to differentiate between submitting to Lord Shiva and submitting to others. How do we find? See, the difference is when you submit a concert or a performance, you will expect in turn the praise and fame out of the concert, out of the performance. You will expect a praise from the public, from the people, from those who heard the performance. Sir, you have sung very nicely. No, there is nobody compared to you. All these things they will expect. But if it is submitted to Lord Shiva, no return, no fame, no name, no praise, no flat, no nothing is expected. If at all comes anything, it will be submitted again back to the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. If you are able to understand this fact, only we will be able to appreciate Aanaya Nayanar. Otherwise, Aanaya Nayanar, we will not be able to understand what is there in the story, what is there in the history, what is to be understood. So, it's a very, very important point that one should surrender not only his belongings, but all the talents also to the Lord Shiva. Sir, you are talented. Is it so? No, it's not owned by me. It has been gifted by him. It has to be repaid. It has to be given back. That should be the attitude. But it is very difficult. I may be just throwing the idea as light as wind or a feather, but it's not so light. When you are doing some performance, it is imperative to expect something in return as praise. People performing on stages, they do it for Lord Shiva, they do it, but of course they will be having they will be very keen to have the feedback. What will be the feedback? What is the feedback? What is the opinion of the audience? How did they feel? How was the performance? All those things will be coming into the mind of the performer. But one who dedicates his talent to the lotus feet of Lord Shiva, he will not expect anything. It has been dedicated to him. Nothing is expected out of feedback. Nothing is expected from anybody else. So that was the very, very important thing that we must be able to appreciate and understand in the life histories of our Nayanmars. Our Nayanmars. See, Paranjodiyar, later on called Sirthondar, he was conquering all the wars. He was conquering all the wars. Which war he participated, he would be winning the war. He would be winning the war. He would be bringing the victory to the king. The king was wondering, how did it happen? How Paranjodiyar was able to achieve all these victories? He was wondering. People explained to him that the Paranjodiyar, the captain, the army captain, was rendering the service as if the service was given to him by Lord Shiva. Because everything he was submitting to his lotus feet. So the talent of his war, the talent of a warrior, the talent of a captain, army captain, all the talents he didn't possess. He submitted to the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. That was why he was able to achieve all those victories in his lifetime. So basically, if we go through any other Nayanmar, it would be the same thing. It would be the same thing. I want to give another example that we are going to see in future. Triyana Sambandar was always accompanied by Nilakanda Yalpanar. Yalpanar requested Jnanasambandha Peruman requested to accompany him and to sing the song in his yal, the musical instrument. It's called yal. He was asked to do so by the Lordship Triyana Sambandha. Okay, you can go ahead, you can come along with me. You can sing the song in your yard whenever I finish the sonnet. He was going wherever Jnanasambandar goes, he was accompanying and going back. But once Yalpanar was at his place, his birthplace, The relatives commented that Jnanasambandhar's sonnets were elevated because of the music of our Yalpana. Because of the Yal music, it was elevated. The people were saying Yalpana was taken aback. He was upset. As a matter of fact, he was upset over the remorse. He is just surrendered to the lotus feet of Jnanasambandar and narrated the comments of the people, and requested him to prove to the public that it is not the case, and requested him to prove that it was not the case. So Jnanasambandar sang a padiham which was not able to be produced by Yalpana. And Yalpana, making it very clear to all the relatives that not because of his Yal, Jnanasambandhar's padihams are elevated. Only because of Jnanasambandhar's padiham, his Yal music was elevated. He made it to the public, saying that he was about to break his Yal. Jnanasambandar prevented him from doing so and told him all the talents were accorded by Lord Shiva. So it should be they should be submitted back to him. Why are you going to break this Yal? He was saying. So likewise, I have made it clear, you must have this idea in your thoughts. At the back of your mind, you must be carrying this message to understand the Aanaya Nayanar's life history. See, there was a part of Cholanadu called Mel Malavanadu. Mel Malavanadu. So it was actually a region of wetlands irrigated by canals. There was a small town, Mangalakudi. It was a flourishing village. If you just go over there, you can see wherever you turn, you can see either paddy fields or sugarcane fields and mango groves, mango orchards. Wherever you go, you can witness only this. So as a matter of fact, not only this, if you see open grass field, you can see large batches of cattle were grazing the grass fields. So special care has been taken by the villagers to cater the herds, to cater the cattle, and as a matter of fact, the whole village people were living. There were only two main sections of people were living. One section is farmers, another section is Yadavas. Yadavas means cowherds. The farmers were taking care of all agricultural side. The cowherds, the Yadavas, they have taken care of feeding the cattle, taking care of the cattle field. They were developing all these things, they were looking. So as a matter of fact, in Tamil, Madu means selvam. Wherever cattle are more in number, naturally that place will be swarming with wealth. So this Mangalakudi was full of cattle carrying and agriculture. wherever you go, you can see during daytime, the place was abuzz by the activities of the farmer women. They were singing songs and doing work in the fields, and cattle grazing, looked by young shepherds. That was a beautiful village. In that village, heading a group of shepherds was a man called Aanaya. As a matter of fact, Aanaya, as a matter of fact, was the captain of a small group of these cowherds, shepherds, group of shepherds. He was a very kind and sincere man and respected by one and all. Everybody loved him so much. He is not used to talk much. He was always uttering very important words only and always keep mum. People thought that he was very much reserved. He was very much reserved, and that's why he was not sharing his thoughts by words. But that is not the case. He was very sincere, honest, and he was taking care of his shepherd families. Everything was there, but still he was always thinking about Lord Shiva. He inherited this by his lost birth's wounds. So he was always brooding over Lord Shiva. Somehow or other he got the thought, and always he was imagining, he was thinking, he was at the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. And always be there, he felt himself to be near Lord Shiva, and he was always thinking about his, and he will be adorning his forehead and the whole body with holy ash. He will be always uttering Lord Shiva's namas, names. Above all, he was an expert in playing flute. He was an expert in playing a flute. Somehow or other he inherited the ability, capacity. There was no guru for him. There was nobody to teach him. Somehow or other, if you go to the hillside or very deep in village side, you can see people playing flutes. They would not be having any masters. They would be just trying to do the play, and they would be experts. So whenever we hear the music, we may not be thinking that they are according to the rules of music, but still it will be very nice to hear. The whole mind would be enchanted. Here, Aanaya was having a special talent of playing the flute. But what he thought was, he had nothing else to submit to Lord Shiva. He had nothing else to submit Lord Shiva. He had the only thing that his expertise in playing a flute, that should be submitted to Lord Shiva, he thought. So his way of prayer will be like this. See, he would be going every day in the morning, taking all the people for grazing cattle, shepherds will be accompanying. For all the shepherds, he would be heading. So, surrounding him, all the shepherds will go youngsters will be there, middle-aged people will be there, and cattle will be coming back, and when they go to the fields, they will separate themselves. Calves, different newly born cattle, newly born uh, cattle, all these things will be segregated, and those who fit for grazing will only be taken for grazing the grass. So they will be segregated in groups, and they will be taken to the grass fields, and after allocating all these things, he would be supervising. Aanaya will be supervising the entire thing. He will go to each and every cattle. He will take care of the cattle. He will be showing them very nice grass. He would be instructing all the shepherds, you must make the cattle to drink only pure water, not contaminated water. Test the water, and only if it is very pure, allow the cattle to drink it. He will and after grazing, he would be instructing all the shepherds to take them to the shadows, allow them to take rest. All these instructions he would be giving, and he would be taking care of the cattle. He was very much interested because he thought that all cattle belong to the group of Nandi. So he was showing the love to Nandi by showing love to all these cattle. So when all the shepherds were taking them for rest, Aanaya will now take the chance of submitting his prayer to Lord Shiva. Even though he was doing all those things, his mind would be at the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. He was always thinking about him, about his fame, about his name, about his grace. This life has been given only by him. My soul is belonging to him. All these sorts of things would be running over, but he would be praying him. He would be submitting his prayer every day by playing the flute he was carrying. He was carrying the flute. He would be carrying the flute. He would be singing so many tunes. But whenever he does it, he will be having that this music is submitted to Lord Shiva as my offering, as my offering. I don't have anything to submit to him except this which was given only by him. So I would be submitting this to his lotus feet. So he would be singing to the flute. As a matter of fact, the flute he was carrying was manufactured or was made according to the rules. See, he was an expert in making a flute also. The bamboo would be selected. It should not be very young or it should not be very old bamboo. It should be in the medium age. That should be taken, and about 4 parts would be cut off from the top side and 2 parts from the bottom side. Only the middle part will be taken. The middle part will be taken and it will be kept for drying at least for 1 year. For 1 year, the bamboo will be kept curing. That is, as a matter of fact, all the wet content, it will be wet, so that moisture should be evaporated throughout the year. When it has become very dry, it will be very fit enough to make a flute out of it. So it has to be chiseled, it has to be taken care of all the things to make a flute of high quality. See that small pipe will be taken out of the middle stem after 1 year. A hole will be made at the top and a hole will be made at the bottom. One hole is for blowing the air through, and the other bottom to make the air to escape. Along with that, 7 holes will be made. 7 holes. The holes will be made according to the rules. The distance will be maintained proportional. Holes will be of equal size, equal distance. 7 holes will be made. So from the top hole, if you blow the air, before it comes to the bottom hole, the holes in the middle, there are 7 holes in the middle, they will be closed and opened by the fingers, by the 7 fingers. The 7 fingers, in the left hand, the thumb and the little finger will be left. All the other three fingers will be used. Other 3 fingers. This little finger and the thumb will be left. Here, another 4 fingers leaving the thumb will be used. 4 plus 3, 7 fingers, 7 holes. Out of the 7 holes, 7 swarams will be produced. By suitably opening the hole, by suitably closing the hole, the respective swaram will be produced. Only out of the swarams the tune will be made. Sa, Ri, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni, Sa, Ni, Ta, Pa, Ma, Ga, Ri, Sa. These are the 7 notes nowadays we are doing. But here whenever in Tamil, Taram, Ulai, Vilari, likewise the swarams. Now just to make you understand, I was reciting the swarams. But before these swarams were produced, our Tamil swarams, Ulai, Vilari, Taram, Kaikali, all those things were there. So Tamil music is a basic music, and it is a original music we were discussing. So Aanaya was playing the flute, using his expertise. How did he get this expertise? How did he get the talent? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. See, people there used to play flute, but his play of flute is exceptional, uncomparable, unequal. His play of music was wondered by his companions and other people. People were wondering how his music alone was superior. He was playing the flute, and so many people, so many shepherds, they will also complete their work, and they will all gather at his feet. He would be sitting on a rock and he would be singing the flute, but forgetting the audience, he would be submitting the whole music. He was actually offering prayer. He was doing kriya. This kriya is submitting his soul. He was submitting his soul through the music. So he was not able to separate He was not able to segregate his soul from the music. His music was soul, his soul was music. So he was submitting the music, means he was submitting the soul. So this was going on, and every blessed day he will go and he will do the prayer, offering his talent to Lord Shiva. I told you when we start this episode, I told you it is very difficult to surrender one's talent to the Lord Shiva. If I am possessing some talent, it is not owned by me. It was given only by him. It was gifted by him. See, all people are having the same vocal cords. Same type of vocal cord, not special type of vocal cords. Same type of vocal cords. But why one set of vocal cords produce so much of attractive music when others are not able to produce? What is the difference? So if you go through, if you just if you are able to diagnose, then you will be able to appreciate that it is only because of Lord's gift one's talent is exhibited. The talent is exhibited not because of one's own talent. It's out of the mercy of Lord Shiva. Mercy of Lord Shiva. Here also Aanaya, knowing that this talent, this flute making, by the music by the flute, it is submitted to Lord Shiva's lotus feet as a prayer. This only I can do. It was given by him. I have to give it back to him. See, one more thing I want to explain at this junction. The playing of Panchaksharam by flute music was explained here in this story. He was playing Panchaksharam. Our David Chekrar was also telling about that. Panchaksharam means we know 5-lettered mantra. Shivaya Nama. Shivaya Nama. If I ask you to tell me the Panchaksharam, you will say Shivaya Nama. If I ask you to explain what is Shivaya Nama means, you will say Shivam, Va, grace, Ya, soul, Na, the shielding, grace, and Ma, the great darkness, ignorance. You will say. But how was it played by him? He played Panchakshara. Of course, people say that Tikaram, Bakaram, Yaharam, Nakaram, Maharam. Those letters, those sounds are pertaining to the language. Language is different from music. Language made out of letters. Music made out of swarams. So swarams, they are making the tunes. Letters, they are making the mantra. Then how the music conforms to the mantra, that we have to understand. That we have to understand. See, as a matter of fact, Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah, though that mantram, what does it imply? That implication, that the essence, the message was delivered by the music. So language delivers the message and the music also delivers the message. The mantra delivers the message. So Aanaya's music delivered the message. What was the message? As a matter of fact, 5-lettered mantra, what was the message? The message is, let us say, the message is in 5-lettered mantra, the message is the soul should wither out the ignorance and it should surrender to the grace which will take him to the Anandam. Yakaram should be leaving or should be made clear of Maharam. Maharam is ignorance. So Yakaram was dominated by Maharam. Now the domination was culled out, was removed, and ignorance was removed from the wisdom of Yakaram. Yakaram, when it is clear out of ignorance, it would be taken to Bhaharam. Bhaharam, as a matter of fact, will take possession. It will offer grace and it will in turn again take to Sigaram for Anandam. So leave alone all the worldly things and submit yourself to the grace of Lord Shiva, which will lead you to Anandam. This was the message understood by Nayanar. So Nayanar didn't utter the 5-lettered mantra. He didn't utter. There was nobody there. There was nobody there to help him or to preach him or to teach him. There was nobody. But inside, from inside, he got the message. The preaching was done by inside. So understanding the message, he delivered the message to the public by music. So mantra, 5-lettered mantra was given us a message by his music. The music made you to leave the worldly things and to surrender to the grace. The music made it. The music is for that. So he delivered the Panchachara out of his music, means out of his flute, means it meant that music innovated, the music taught that leave all the worldly things, surrender to the grace. It will take you to Ananda. So this was going on. The last section of his history is very, very small. Very small. One day, as usual, he was going for the grazing of cattle, taking the cattle accompanied by all the shepherds. But that day he felt this day is going to be special day for me. Somehow or other he felt it. Somehow or other he was very joyous. Somehow or other he was very happy. Somehow or other he felt when will the time come? When will the time come for me to offer my prayer today? Every day he would be expecting. Today he was very much overwhelmed with the joy, and he was somewhere or other that time should come. Really, I should go and offer my prayer, playing this flute. He was expecting the time. He dressed himself especially that day. He didn't forget the applying of or donning his forehead with the holy ash. The entire body he was applying the holy ash. He dressed himself, took the flute, was going very happily, accompanied by all the shepherds and cattle. When he reached the spot, everything went on as usual, and suddenly he saw a tree, Kondrai tree, Kondrai Maram. On seeing that, he was completely absorbed, taken possession, obsessed by the look of the tree. Seeing the kondrai flowers, on the tree with full pith-like unripe fruits, that is called pith. இறைவனாருடைய சடைகள் போல் தோன்றியதாம் அந்த காய்கள். It was hanging everywhere. It will be black in nature. If you go see a kondrai maram, you can see that. So all the kondrai flowers seemed to be decorating the great pith of Lord Shiva. Sadai, pith means sadai. Sadai. When he saw that, somewhere or other on that day, he got absorbed as if Lord Shiva has come in person and asking for the consort. Okay, don't you start now? He was asking. Are you not going to start now? He was asking. He forgot himself. He sat under the tree as if he was sitting under the feet of Lord Shiva. He was sitting under the Lord Shiva. He imagined. He felt, as a matter of fact, not imagination, he felt himself. And he was sitting under the feet, and he was starting the flute music. He started. Slowly the music was building up. It was going like anything. Like a river, it was flowing. Slowly it was building up the vigor. The grade was slowly picking up and it was reaching the peak. All the shepherds gathered there. Cattle gathered there. Not only that, as the music flowed from the flute, clouds stood still. So the peacocks started dancing. It was so melodious that shepherds had forgot their work. Cattle were drawn towards the Nayanar. They all stopped their activities. This is not the wonderful thing. One more thing. Even elephants, lions, deer, tigers stood together, forgetting their own nature. And Devachekadar says even the celestials came in their flying carts and hung around listening to the five-lettered word being rendered through such melodious divine music. Everybody was listening. The divine music was rendering the divine message of five-lettered mantra. Slowly it was building up like anything. Everybody was enchanted in the music. And it also reached the dancing Shiva. Dancing Shiva now appeared on his bull with goddess Uma. Both of them appeared before him, gave darshan to him. Oh, what a beautiful performance you have given. The Lord addressed him, okay, I want to listen to your music ever. Be my side. Saying these words, he was taking him along with him to his abode. Everybody witnessed the happening, and then our Aanaya went to Lord Shiva's abode. This was a story narrated by Devachekadar. So, Aanaya, if you just ponder, if you just think over, what was the feat or what was the miracle he has done? Only by his talent, only by his music talent, he reached the Lord Shiva's abode. Only by, but he offered the talent 10% to the lotus feet of Lord Shiva and reached his abode. So with this we are finishing this episode, and we have to thank our Qatar couple, Mrs. and Mr. Saravanan. Both of them were very keen in doing these English episodes. I am just trying to explain the history of Nayanmars as much as possible in English, in simple English. I think I am clear about my sayings, my narration. So, people who are able to hear this should also direct other people who may not be well versed with the Tamil. You may be asking them to listen to these episodes so that they will be able to understand the frame of our Nayanmars. See, without anything, I don't blame, but Shirdi Sai Baba comes from the north and he gains so much of momentum. We have our own Nayanmars here who did miracles here, who are the best examples, lived examples of these Adiyas. We will be also blessed by Lord Shiva's grace. We will be able to appreciate. So people should also educate others with the stories of Nayanmars. Their life will also be out of all chaos and confusions. So spend your time in hearing the narrations of Nayanmars. Your life will be, your hurdles will be removed, your problems will be solved. Lord Shiva's grace will be yours. You will be having health and wealth. With this, I am just concluding this episode. Let us meet once again in our next episode. We are going to discuss about Murthy Nayanar, another Nayanmar, in our next episode. With this, I am just going to conclude. You please visit our website also. Our Facebook site is also there. You please visit that. There are updated informations available. We are running a magazine, Gnanathiral, for the past 12 years, the 13th year running. You can contribute, you can just subscribe, and you can go through the messages delivered in this magazine also. With this, I am concluding. I am going to recite 5-letter mantra. I request you to kindly follow. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Tiruchitrambalam. தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.